Hey everyone, it's Todd the Cybertruck truck guy, and today we're out here in my mobile recording studio out in my 2018 Toyota Tacoma because with the holidays everyone came home and I lost my studio. It used to be my daughter's bedroom and it got turned back into her bedroom on her visit back. So we're out here making the best of the situation, kind of going old school back in the days when I was doing all my videos from inside my truck. So here we are again. Today I want to talk about the 5 reasons I love the Rivian, but then the 4 reasons I probably won't be buying one. Now, I want to start out by saying that of all the electric vehicle pickup trucks so far that I've seen outside of the Cybertruck, the one that I think has the best shot of being a successful electric pickup truck is the Rivian. And I want to go through the reasons why I like the Rivian so much and why I think it's going to be successful as an electric pickup truck. But then I also want to mention the reasons why specifically I really prefer the Cybertruck over the Rivian, even with all the reasons that I really like the Rivian. Here we go. I got to move. Mobile recording studio. I got to get some shade. I'm getting washed out here. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 reasons I love the Rivian. Reason number 1 is going to be its off-road capability. I've been pretty impressed that the Rivian has actually shown its truck out tackling some relatively tough off-road situations out in the wild, something that, frankly, I'd like to see from the Cybertruck. We don't have that kind of footage yet from the Cybertruck, so hats off to Rivian for putting their vehicle out and letting it get beat up in a sort of semi-public environment. The reason I have a Tacoma now and not full-size pickup truck, so when it came time for me to trade in my F-250, I decided I wanted something that was going to be better for off-roading. I do a lot of off-roading. I have an off-road adventure motorcycle that I ride an awful lot. And I wanted a truck that was going to be something I could take other people along with me off-roading. I really enjoy it. And I enjoy off-roading to get to really cool camping spots. I really wanted to get a truck that was going to have more off-road capability than my large 3/4 ton pickup truck. And the Rivian is almost exactly the same size as my Toyota. The reason that's an advantage is in a lot of off-roading environments, you're in space constricted areas or you're making very tight turns, and a larger pickup truck often struggles to navigate those tight environments. That's one of the reasons why Jeeps are so popular, is their short wheelbase. That smallness lets them navigate some very, very difficult off-road environments. And the second thing that makes the Rivian so appealing to me from an off-road standpoint is its tank turn feature. I am drooling to get my hands on a Rivian and go off-roading with a Rivian. In fact, this is an open invitation. If you have a Rivian, I would love to have you come join our Cybertruck meetup that we're going to do in Colorado to go off-roading, because I think the Rivian is going to be a hellaciously awesome off-road capable vehicle. So the second reason I love the Rivian is its traditional styling. Now, I personally have grown to love the styling of the Cybertruck, but I totally admit that it's not for everyone, and it definitely stands out, and for people that don't like it, they really want something more conventional. To me, the Rivian is a great alternative. Now, the reason I like traditional styling isn't a styling thing, it's a functionality thing. There's 2 things that the Rivian will do that the Cybertruck will have a hard time with. The first is slide-in camping units. It looks like the Rivian will be able to accommodate some of the camping units that have been designed for like Toyota Tacomas. And that's a big feature because of its conventional body design. The existing campers that are available should fit inside the Rivian if they fit inside the Tacoma. And the second thing is for 5th wheel or gooseneck towing. The fact is that I think it'll be easier for a traditional bed to accommodate, because that's what does it right now, a gooseneck type trailer. And if the suspension can handle it, I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't be able to use a gooseneck or 5th wheel type trailer hitch assembly with the Rivian. And I think that's going to be very attractive to a lot of people. And one reason I like the traditional styling, it just lets you use the aftermarket accessories that are optimized for traditional, flatbed styles. The third reason that I really love the Rivian is its business model, its investors, and its overall, I would just call it business viability. I think one of the things that we've seen a lot of, and we probably will continue to see a lot of, are EV startups that can't make it. They get going, they get enough funding to maybe make it to like prototype stage or beginning manufacturing, but they just can't get the cash flow they need in order to stay afloat. And I like the Rivian because of how they're funding themselves by using the van and their relationship with Amazon. That gives them a guaranteed revenue stream. And they're also taking what I would consider, they're not trying to do everything for everyone. They're pretty much focused on this light vehicle van space. They've got an established partner / consumer with Amazon and other people that might be interested in buying these electric delivery vans. And that's going to give them a stable base of revenue, and it's going to give them an opportunity to make some mistakes. Like, they don't have to execute perfectly, and they won't. No one does when they're starting. And so it gives them some wiggle room, and it gives me some confidence that if I were buying a Rivian, are they going to be around? Like, are they going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road? If I buy something that Rivian made, will there be service and parts available for it down the road? And I think any of the startups, I have the most confidence that Rivian is going to be here. And I like that part of their business model, and the fact that they have investors like Ford and Amazon. I think that means they're going to have some staying power, and we can rely on them being around in the future. Reason number 4 are its thoughtful details. The next video I do about the Rivian is going to be a side-by-side comparison, like I've done with some other vehicles, with the Cybertruck. And when I really spend time going through the website and looking at all the features and the thoughtful design elements of the Rivian, it was really clear to me that these people have spent a lot of time thinking about using the Rivian for what I think is its target market, the outdoor adventure travel community. One example of this is the fact that they have this pass-through storage compartment that lets you put something in on one side and it can reach all the way to the other side, and then you can actually go to the other side and pull it out. Well, those doors, when you open them up, instead of opening sideways, they open downward, and they're designed to actually be weight-bearing, so you can sit on them. So you can sit on that door, or you can stand on it to get up to like a roof rack or a rooftop tent. That's brilliant. I cannot tell you the number of times that I'm in a camping situation with my truck or with my motorcycle, using my truck as my base, and I want somewhere to sit where I can put my boots on. The tailgate is too high up. It sits too high up. So you end up kind of like half standing, half sitting to use that as a chair. I just think they have a bunch of little things like that in the design that are really compelling to me as somebody that uses my truck in that way. It's like, wow, they were really thinking, they really did testing, they really thought through how they were going to build this to optimize it for people that use it as an adventure truck. So yeah, I love all the little details, and that's just one example. There's a bunch more that when I do the comparison, I'll break them out kind of one by one. Okay, the last reason I love the Rivian is its value. Now I know you're going to say it's way more expensive than the Cybertruck, but when I do the side-by-side comparison, I think you're going to find that the Rivian has actually got a pretty good value proposition, especially when you're matching it up to the tri-motor Cybertruck and you pay for the additional battery capacity, the extra $10,000 to get the battery capacity. And that's because they don't charge for their advanced driver assist features, and it looks like they're not going to charge you anything once they get full self-driving. So the truck itself is it's like full self-driving, hardware capable. It's got all the cameras, all the sensors, everything that needs to be full self-driving. And they're offering standard, when you buy that, you get their advanced driver assist features. You do not get that with Tesla. It gives you sort of self-driving in a single lane. It won't make lane changes. And but when you get the Rivian, it actually has the automatic lane change feature standard. And they seem to say in their description that they're not going to charge anything for future advanced driver assist features. So if you're like me, you believe that Tesla will probably win the full self-driving race for regular vehicles, not for specialty vehicles like Waymo, but that probably within 12 to 36 months from Tesla solving it, someone else is going to solve it. That someone else will probably resell that to every other vehicle maker out there, and then everyone will have it and it'll be available. So I think that what Rivian is counting on is once they solve it or they buy a partner solution for it, they're not going to charge you for it. So that makes the value equation kind of compelling when you're at the highest level for the Rivian. There's so many things that I find compelling about the Rivian, that I actually love about the Rivian. Why is it that I'm not considering making a Rivian one of my trucks? For those of you who have watched the channel before, my truck is a Toyota Tacoma. My wife's truck is a full-size Toyota Tundra. So we have a full-size and a smaller truck. So why am I not thinking about getting the Cybertruck as our full-size pickup and getting a Rivian as our mid-size pickup? So the first thing I would say is if the Cybertruck didn't exist, I would probably have a reservation for the Rivian. I mean, I really love the Rivian. So before I explain why I'm still not getting a Rivian, I need to make it abundantly clear that, like, for me, the Rivian is a seriously strong runner-up. Like, I am an enthusiast. I can't wait to drive one. I think it's going to be a hell of a truck. I am really excited about the Rivian. All right, so what are the 4 reasons that, all things being equal today, I'm still all in for the Cybertruck and I'm planning on buying multiple Cybertrucks? So the first one is full-size versus mid-size. This is the first mid-size truck I've owned. I love my Tacoma. I would probably keep it a long time, but there are some real trade-offs. It's not a very comfortable vehicle size to have 4 people go a long way in. It doesn't hold as much, doesn't have as much cargo capacity as a full-size truck, and it doesn't have the same kind of towing and payload capacities of a full-size truck. And I've missed that. And what I love about the Cybertruck is that I am going to be able to, I feel, get the best of what I wanted from my Tacoma and the best of what I want from a full-size pickup truck, and a bunch of extra things that I never dreamed I would have within a truck. So size, it's a size thing. I really want a larger vehicle with more payload, more cargo capacity, and more ability to comfortably seat 4 adults in the vehicle without it being cramped. So reason number 2 is the stainless steel exoskeleton. So here we are. I'm going to show you guys this. Hopefully the wind won't be too bad. All right, so I just got out of the cab and I switched it so the camera's facing away instead of facing me. And it's kind of windy out here, but the stainless steel exoskeleton is a big deal to me. And people that aren't truck people, that don't use their trucks, don't understand or appreciate why this is a big deal. And I commented on this on a prior video, but I'm just going to show you the damage that I've had this truck for 2 years. I want to show you all the damage I've done to it. So this is mostly from off-roading. So I damaged this, I poked a hole in this bumper, scratched this up here. This is the best. Now this is my original Gorilla Tape repair, but now I don't know for sure how the mirror is going to work on the Cybertruck. I'm hoping that they're going to be just camera only, but if they have rear view mirror, it won't necessarily solve that. But I tore that off trying to go down. There was a set of trees that were too narrow. I thought I could make it and I misjudged. So this is a mark I got from, I I incorrectly tarped down a load, and I ended up the hasp, or the grapple of the tarp, ended up vibrating back and forth and eroding that out. Now, let's see here. This is dusty under here, so you can't see, but I'll just show you. So right here, you can kind of see I already have rust forming on some of the bolts, and there's already some small amounts of rust forming underneath the underbody of the car. I live in the Midwest, and we salt our roads like crazy, and that salt gets all over our trucks, and it starts to eat away our wheel wells. So yeah, people think the stainless steel exoskeleton is a joke or a gimmick, but when you use a truck, like I've used a truck, and I had both my rear wheel wells on my old F-250, and I was only 6 years old, already had rust that was in some places rusting through the wheel well, and I had multiple places where I had dings from just using my truck like a truck. I used that one a lot more in work. That was kind of when we were just getting the green side of our business started, the lawn and landscape side of our business. So I was personally plowing, I was personally doing a lot of towing, hauling stuff around. Then as the business grew and I ended up, most of that was just work trucks, I was able to shift to a truck that was mostly a personal. I mean, I use it for work driving around, but I don't have to plow or haul things. When you use a truck like a truck, when you're carrying loads, when you're off-roading, when you're towing, you end up, little things, sometimes big things happen. The sheet metal gets corroded, it gets torn, it gets punctured, it gets banged. Things happen. Things get messed up. And like putting on a new front bumper is, I don't know, probably $1,000. If I wanted to fix all the body parts and repaint it, it would probably be like $1,500 of spot painting. The mirror is like $500 for me to replace the mirror. All of these things happen, and then when you go to, and it doesn't hurt the functionality of the truck, generally speaking, but when you go to trade it in, all of these damaging things are things you have to fix or you take a big hit. The thing about the stainless steel exoskeleton is that, first of all, it's going to last much better through the winters in the Midwest with the salt. A big part of truck land is in the American Midwest and Canada, and Canada, where road salt is used abundantly, and vehicles, even if the mechanical parts will last 10, 15 years, the body starts to just fall off around it, just rust through. And all the damage that our trucks take when we use them as trucks. So yeah, the stainless steel exoskeleton is a huge factor in why I love the Cybertruck design. Okay, the same reason I like Rivian, because of its business model and its Viability, is why I like the Cybertruck, the network. Both the charging network, which is by far the most extensive, and the service network. Is it the same as a legacy dealer? No, I realize that. I realize for today, there's some trade-offs. And if I'm down in the Ozarks and I get stranded, it's going to be a serious pain in the ass, and I'm going to have to probably tow it up to Fayetteville to get to an actual Tesla dealer. But so be it. I get that. I understand the trade-offs there. But in terms of every other like electric vehicle startup, Tesla is way ahead of them. And Tesla is making rapid gains in its mobile service technicians. So instead of having to have a shop everywhere, they're going to have these mobile service techs. And in most cases, a mobile technician is going to be able to fix what needs to be fixed. Tesla is far and away has the most infrastructure, the most momentum, the most likelihood of, as far as its durability. I think it's got a better balance sheet than a lot of legacy companies. So in terms of like who's going to be around, Tesla's going to be around. Whatever problems they have, it's not going to be surviving, because they have $20 billion on the books right now. They're going to be around. Their size, their service network, their charging network, and their business durability as an auto manufacturer gives me a lot more confidence in Tesla than Rivian that they're going to be here. And lastly, the thing that I understand why a lot of people don't like the aesthetics of the Cybertruck, but the sloped bed with the integrated rolling tonneau cover is, for me, a game changer. The Cybertruck bed is the most remarkable piece of truck technology that we've seen with pickup trucks in 100 years. So the fact that it actually has that high roof line that tapers means that the bed itself can be a very serviceable camping area. And I don't know how many people actually this matters, but for me, this is a huge deal. I have not wanted to go out and buy a separate camper, A, because the financial side, and B, because I don't have anywhere to put it. I'd have to store it, pay to have it stored somewhere else. And really, the way I camp is pretty simplistic. And to have a bed that is pre-configured so I can camp in it easily, and it will have environmental controls. Supposedly, it's going to have some ability to environmentally control it. But even if it doesn't have the car HVAC system, it has plugs that I can plug a full-on air conditioner in. And unless you've tried to camp in the southern Midwest or the South, in the southern United States, in the summer, people are like, oh, air conditioning is optional. Not there. It's not optional. If you want to go off-roading or adventuring in the southern American Midwest or the American South, and you want to camp overnight, you have to have air conditioning. You can't sleep. It's almost impossible to sleep. It's like 90 degrees with 90% humidity. It's miserable. And so the fact that bed configuration allows for me to camp in it, and it's got the integrated tonneau cover, is a big deal because it costs extra to get a truck cap or a tonneau cover, and I put my motorcycle in the back of my bed. And so if I were to get a regular tonneau cover, I couldn't camp in a bed. I mean, if I had a regular pickup truck bed with a tonneau cover, then I couldn't camp in the bed because it'd be like a coffin. The tonneau cover would be right above my face. And if I wanted to put a truck cap over a conventional pickup truck bed, then I couldn't put my motorcycle in the bed. And so for me, I have this narrow set of niche cases that the Cybertruck is extremely appealing to me because of that bed with the integrated tonneau cover and the ability to have environmental control, and I can put my motorcycle in it. It's like it checks every box. It checks all the boxes for me. That's why, even as much as I love the Rivian, I love the Cybertruck more. And then the last thing is just the price. Even though I can make the case that on the highest end for like a tri-motor Cybertruck with full self-driving compared to the long-range Rivian, the value proposition is getting close. To me, you're still getting a lot more with the Cybertruck, especially if you're getting the dual motor Cybertruck. So, and that's my plan, is to get a tri-motor and a dual motor. It's an individual choice. It's an individual set of criteria. You can see I gave some very specific reasons why the Cybertruck works so much better for me. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting a Rivian, as far as electric trucks go, I totally get it. And I hope that I get a chance at some point to see a Rivian out in the off-roading world, and hopefully I get a chance to drive one. I really want to drive one off-road. I think they're going to be wicked off-road. I love the Rivian, but I love the Cybertruck just a little bit more. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, all that other stuff, and catch you next time. Bye.